get ready to get sticky. Sticky Situations is sponsored by Corona Crush. Corona Crush is creating Jewish couples always. Join the Facebook group. Just search Corona Crush and look out for virtual speed dating events happening every other week. They're 100% free and 100% Jewish.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Sticky Situations. I'm your host, Rachel, as you already know, because I'm unforgettable, and so I'd be really offended if you forgot that. Everybody, please, on whatever platform you're listening on, subscribe, follow. If there's the option to rate and review, give us some 5-star reviews, some ratings, good reviews and ratings only. Do what your mom told you in kindergarten. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But please say something nice because, obviously, why wouldn't you? Everyone, also, please go like Sticky Situations page on Facebook. Follow Sticky Situations Pod on Instagram. Follow Sticky Situations Pod on TikTok. Yeah, I know, I'm slacking. I always say that I'm slacking on the TikTok, but I'm working on it. It's hard. I have a full-time job. You know the drill. But we're trying. Also, if you would like to be a guest on my podcast, please send me a DM on Instagram at Sticky Situations Pod, or you can send me an email at stickysituationspod@gmail.com. I also have the link to the applications up on the Instagram. I think just look at the story highlights. I have all the good applications, which I'll get to the rest in a minute, up on the Instagram. Also, if you are not a part of the Corona Crush Facebook group, go join that Facebook group, and then you can also find the guest application on any of my episode posts. So lots of ways to find it, and if you still can't, then send me a DM or an email. If you would like to date me or any of my single guests, there are also applications for that. You can either DM me for them, email me for them, or they're on the Instagram highlights as well. Anyways, try your luck at that. You never know. Listen, I really want to be a shotgun, so let's see if we can make it happen. If you find any of my guests interesting, just send me a message. It won't hurt anything, and I will try to facilitate. So, I got your back, Sticky Situation Nation. I got your back. But, okay, so today I have an extra special guest. Here today on Sticky Situations, I am joined by my very close friend, Natalie. Natalie, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks.
I'm so excited to have you here.
Yeah, this is fun. I just realized I don't follow any of those platforms.
Oh, you should get on that. Right now.
I know, I need to do that.
ASAP.
I know.
I think I'm funny, so.
You are funny. I am missing out. I know.
It's fine. We'll forgive you for now. Okay, so Natalie, before we jump in, can you please tell my listeners just some basic information about yourself? Can you tell them your age, location, relationship status, and religious denomination?
That's a lot to remember with this much to drink. I will start with my age is mid-20s.
Okay.
I'm Modox.
Modern Orthodox, that's your religious denomination, everybody.
Yes. And what were the other questions? Oh, I'm from...
Your location?
I'm from Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
And your relationship status?
I am married, which you will find magical after all my stories.
You guys, don't worry. I know her husband.
We're okay.
She found a good one. More like he found her.
Yeah.
But yeah, after all her stories, we're happy that, you'll hear them. I know most of them. Not all of them, I don't think. But it's good. And I'm excited. I'm excited for her to tell them. We were, before we started recording, we were reliving some of them.
and Rachel remembers more than I do.
Yeah, it's a walk down memory lane. It's hilarious.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so Natalie, should we just jump right in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Where do we start?
Where do you want to start?
From the beginning.
Okay, let's start from the beginning.
What is the beginning? You remember more than me. Let's start from when I lived out of the country.
Okay.
Do I just dive in?
Yeah, dive in. Tell us your stories.
Okay. Actually, I want to start with the stalker guy that drove here.
Okay.
To Nashville. Okay, basically, I met this guy on a dating app, and we hit it off-ish, and he offered to fly to me and go on a date. So we went on a date. It was fine, nothing special. I was kind of milking it out because it was my birthday. He sent me flowers, but there was nothing special.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was one of those romantic type of
Is
guy.
this guy still single? Like, what?
He probably is, but I do not recommend.
No, I don't want to date him, but I really want to do a Sticky Situation Nation. Where are they now?
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
With the guys or girls from all of my guest dates.
He will treat his wife. This guy will treat his wife really well, but deep down he is not okay inside.
Yeah.
Pretty much then a couple weeks later he texts me. He's like, "Hey, like, what are you doing today?" And I'm like, "I have school all day long." And he's like, "Well, I'm actually in Nashville." And I'm like, "What are you doing here?" Because I was already like on the fence about him. And he said, I drove here overnight just to see you. And I was like, "Well, I'm sorry, but I'm really busy today and I don't have time to see you." So he goes, "So do you know where I can get kosher food? Because I have to drive home." And I was like, "Okay, I guess you can go to this store or whatever." And he drove home and I didn't even feel bad.
That's so weird. Were you actually busy all day, or you just didn't want to see him?
No, I really had classes the whole day, and if it was someone that I liked,
yeah,
I probably would have like skipped a class. But it was not worth my time to. It was like my busiest day of classes. I wasn't about to skip a class.
Yeah. Also, like, you went on one date with him. That's like, I don't like surprises.
I know, and apparently I heard like later on he like rented like the nicest car to drive down and surprise me. But that's a little much. Well, I've only met him once.
Yeah.
And he really, he sent me some mean text messages.
Wow.
Mean ones. It's not my fault. I didn't ask you to drive down.
Yeah.
That's not my fault.
Like, he should have planned it better.
Or not surprised me. Maybe read the situation a little better. I clearly wasn't.
That's what I meant by planned it better.
Yeah, like, I didn't ask him to come. I wasn't begging to see him.
Yeah.
So
that's so off.
Yeah.
And
that's
weird.
one of my weirdest stories.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I do feel bad, but
not that much.
Not too bad.
Yeah. So that's a very, very weird one.
Yes, very weird story. It's really hard for me to like,
what did he say to you?
He was like, "Do you know how selfish you are? I rented a car and drove all the way down here through the night with no sleep, and you made me drive all the way back home on the same day." I'm like, "I didn't make you do anything." Yeah. And I'm sorry, and I do feel bad, but I did have a busy day. I mean, look, looking back, it's like I could have made some time, but I didn't want to pursue the relationship. I hadn't gotten around to telling him that.
Yeah.
It was a little ridiculous.
No, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
I'm on your side.
I'm sure if I liked him, that would have been a very romantic gesture, and that would have come off well, but I wasn't getting those vibes.
Yeah.
So then that makes him weird.
But it's also like, if you're in a long distance situation,
yeah,
like, you gotta plan it better. Unless he was literally dating you for like months.
Yeah,
then that's cute. He comes in and surprises you.
This was brand new.
But this is like a second date.
Yeah.
No.
Very weird.
That's too much.
Yes, I know.
Ugh.
Cringy. Oh, worst part. This is bad. He met my parents.
Oh.
On the first date.
Oh.
Only because I kind of hated the first date, and I needed someone else there to like, because his flight didn't leave till later that night.
Oh.
And I had to like break the tension a bit, and I knew my family could save me.
So
with
you
that.
Brought him back to you.
I brought him to my house.
Oh.
And yeah, that made it a little more uncomfortable. I think that also gave him the wrong idea.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, oh, she's introducing me to her parents.
Yeah, I came off the wrong way.
I don't want to meet any...
You know my relationship with my parents, so you know that wasn't weird. Because
no.
My parents would save me from a bad situation.
Yeah, like if I was on a bad date and I needed to escape, I would go to her parents also.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that made it weird, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still very off. I'm going to need you to tell me this guy's name afterwards so I know if I've ever talked to him on J-Swipe.
Oh, yeah. That would be bad.
Yeah.
I have to figure out what his name is because I don't remember. It's been so
That's
long.
okay. I also forget people's names.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to move on to your next story?
I'll do the one from out of the country.
Okay. I'm excited.
I think this is your favorite one.
This is one of my favorite ones.
So pretty much, my family moved out of the country when I was in high school, right?
Yes.
You know. And we moved to a city where not a lot of people spoke English, and I was a little desperate to make like English-speaking friends. So there's a lot of Americans that live in a certain part of this country.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming you all know by now is Israel. So pretty much I went to visit my friend at her school, and I met this guy who was older than me. Keep in mind, I was like 15, 16 at the time. This guy must have been in his 20s, probably early 20s. But we decided to start seeing each other. One thing leads to another. We see each other time and time again. And I kind of trusted him because my mom knew his family from where I used to live. So I decided that I trusted him, which he wasn't a bad guy. But one night I went to visit him, and he decided he wanted to sneak me into his boys-only school. So he says, "Hey, Natalie, I have the best idea. I'm going to put you in a suitcase and take you upstairs to my room so nobody can see you and nobody's going to know you're there." So I get into a suitcase.
Oh my God.
I'm rolled into the building and into an elevator. And I remember hearing like the people, the boys talking in the dining room. Like all of them knew that I was in the suitcase. Like I remember them laughing. I think they were just hiding it from like their advisor or their counselor, or whatever you call it. And I remember getting out of the suitcase and like scared out of my mind. It's just not a place you want to be. Like the only girl in the entire building. I don't know why I agreed to this. And we were hanging out for a minute, and then someone starts knocking on the door. He locked the door, but someone starts knocking on the door. And it's like the person in charge. So what does he do? He puts me under his comforter and pretty much sits on my head and hides me. And I was tiny at this time. So like I fit under the comforter and him sitting in front of me, and the person couldn't see me. And I sat under there, no joke, feeling like I was suffocating for way too long.
Oh my God.
It felt horrible while the other person, the guy in charge, grilled him. "Is there a girl in here? Is there a girl in here? If I figure out there's a girl in here, you're kicked out of the school." It was terrifying. And the second he left, he shoved me back in the suitcase and took me back outside and told me to just go to the bus by myself.
Oh my God. Chivalry, everybody.
The thing is, I did that to myself. Like, why would I agree to get into a suitcase?
I don't know.
Would you agree to get into a suitcase? For a guy,
Probably not.
No one's special.
But also, like, I would do it. Here's the thing. I wouldn't do it for the guy. I would do it for the story.
Right. Well, see, I was not doing it for the story. I never envisioned myself recording with my friend talking about this story. Ever. Ever. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever done.
Yeah, so I do things a lot of the time for the plot. But
good for you.
But I think that's more of like an adult thing. As a kid, as a teenager, I probably like didn't. But I didn't do anything crazy
you
like
lived
that.
in Columbus, Ohio, and I feel like nothing went on.
Yeah. Nothing happened. At least in my friend group.
Yes.
We made prank calls from the ice cream store parking lot.
That's cute.
That's what we did.
That's really cute. Meanwhile, I was being shoved in suitcases.
And snuck into boys' dorms.
And somehow we're friends.
That is my favorite story.
I really am embarrassed. And I'm happy my husband just left the house, because that's just like, I feel like just not a classy thing to do.
Yeah, but it's also funny.
It's funny.
Like, looking back, like, it's funny.
It was funny, I guess.
It's funny for the plot.
Yeah.
Who would have thought 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago, in a suitcase, and now you're here.
With 2 crazy children and a husband who eats popcorn out of a bowl with just his mouth. Yeah. I guess it makes sense, actually, that I have a crazy family after all the shoot I've done. See, I didn't curse.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's hear some more crazy stuff.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait.
Some crazy stuff.
I did make a list, so I have to look. Covered that. Okay. Oh, in middle school, this is just a random little fact, not me. In middle school, I dated 2 guys at the same time because they would both buy me gifts all the time. Like, really nice gifts, like skateboards and, like, engraved necklaces and stuff. I dated them at the same time. They lived in the same city, and I didn't, and they didn't know about it.
They didn't know about it?
They didn't know about it.
How did you know them? If they didn't live in your city?
I met them through NCSY.
Oh.
So, I met both of them. Somehow I started dating both of them. I don't know what I was thinking. This, again, I think I was like in 8th, 7th grade. I managed to pull this off, and neither of them ever knew about it.
So, if you only saw them on, like, Shabbatons, how did you divide your time?
It was the type of thing. Here's the thing. It was the type of thing where we were so mature, we wouldn't talk to each other in person.
Oh.
It was just over like AIM or email or whatever.
But they would send you presents.
Yeah, there was one of them, actually the one that you know of. We were friends in person. But the other one, we wouldn't associate in public. Like,
that's so weird.
So weird. But, like, I got such a thrill. Like, the one who I didn't talk to, he's the one that sent me, like, really nice engraved necklaces, like, with my name and his name on it.
Do you still have them?
No, for sure not. That was in 8th grade.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it would be hilarious. I should have kept these things, but when you're little, you don't realize that it's going to be this hilarious down the road. I knew what I was doing was wrong, though.
Okay, at least you knew that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because didn't you stay friends with one of them?
I did, and we were really good friends, and we realized we just weren't, like, compatible at all. And we hung out the same time that I lived in Israel, and we would, like, hang out all the time with our friends, but we were never romantic after that.
Yeah, and then he ended up marrying one of my former roommates. Who's a little psycho.
Jewish geography.
Who's very psycho.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I remember you telling me this.
Yeah, this was one of my college roommates.
So weird. Yes, I remember these stories now.
I hope she's more stable. I think they're still married.
They are.
I think she blocked me on all social media platforms, so I
know
really
a lot of inappropriate stories about them, which I can't talk about publicly.
Oh, no, but we will definitely talk offline.
Yes. I'm sure they're rumors, but whatever. What's another story I have? A lot of my stories are inappropriate, Rachel. I can't say them.
You can say a little bit.
Okay, so when I was dating my current husband, he's my first husband.
And hopefully only.
Oh my God.
My current husband.
Yeah, when I was dating my husband, I was always nervous. And I just want to say one of my best pieces of advice for anyone dating, I do not envy you. It is not fun. Always, if you're a drinker, if you're not a drinker, take a shot before your date. It changes everything. It really does. Like, all of a sudden, 1 minute you're uptight, the next second you're being yourself. And, like, that's the only way you can truly find... Look, this is how I found maybe I'm psycho. Clearly, from all my stories, you could tell I'm a little bit psycho.
That's okay.
But I always found that taking a shot made everything better. Anyway, so I was nervous. I must have, like, drank a little too much. Me and my husband, we were drinkers back in the day before we had kids. We must have drank the night before, and we went on a hike the next day, and, like... How do I say this in not a disgusting way? I really had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, no. It's not in the program.
I really had to go to the bathroom. And I told him I had to pee. And I went behind a rock and took care of my business and moved on with my day like nothing had happened. I didn't have anything to use to...
Oh, no.
I used what was around me.
Oh, no.
And I think he just found out this story recently. He was disgusted. But look, what do you do? When you gotta go, you gotta go. Like, there's no option. Like, what was I supposed to do in that moment? We were an hour away from where we lived.
Yeah.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah. And then what do you do the rest of the hike? Like,
it would have been miserable. I had to do what I had to do, and I don't regret it, but it is a story I think about often. At least he married me in the end.
Do you think he would have married you if he had known?
Maybe because he was really into farting. He has like a pretty bad, like...
Honestly, I'm shocked that it was you who had to go to the bathroom in the woods.
And not him. Exactly. That's why he can't judge me.
Yeah.
But I'm happy I didn't, like, smell bad or something.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's lucky.
That was a gross story. When it comes to my husband, I have a lot of stories, but out of respect for him, I will not say. We've been through some things. A lot of interesting things. But yeah, that was one of my nastier stories.
How long were you dating at that point?
Not long. Months. Like within a matter of months. Like probably less than 6.
Okay.
And we dated for like 2 years-ish. Because he dumped me like 6 times. You know.
It's okay, you trapped him now.
Yeah, I did. I always say to him, I'm like, I think I forced you to marry me, but look at the kids I gave you. You should be happy.
Yeah, now he's trapped.
Yeah, you're literally trapped. You try to leave me, won't be pretty. Remember when we went on a walk once? You were visiting me? And we went on a walk, and we ended up at his apartment. And we went in because I had
Oh my god, yeah, he was out of town.
He wasn't home, but we drank and ate his food and left.
It was like 90 degrees outside or something. And you're like, oh, I have the keys to his apartment. Should we just like go and chill?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
And we sat there.
I think you made me a drink.
I did, of course.
Of course.
When did I not drink on my free time back then? Never.
Oh my god, I forgot about that story.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember when I was with you and it was like when I was in a 2-year relationship and we had just broken up and it was the first time I downloaded a dating app in my life.
Oh my god, yeah.
And I immediately matched with someone. It was like the most exciting night of our lives. We were dancing with Indians.
Oh my god, yeah, we went dancing. We were like not even that good of friends yet. This is like the night, I feel like this was the night that solidified our friendship.
Yes. Yeah.
We went out. Natalie had like just gone through a breakup. I'm like just chilling.
Yeah.
Because like, why not?
Yeah.
And she's like, let's go out. So we went out. Her mom drove us to the club. we're like out of the club. She like made us pregame before. And then we're dancing then these like Indian guys come up and start dancing with us.
It was
so fun.
There was like a bachelor party going on there. And we were right in the middle of it. And there was like, I remember there was like money in my shirt.
Really?
Remember there was like dollar bills everywhere?
I don't remember that.
Oh my gosh. And
I believe you, but I don't
We
remember.
had fun.
Yeah, we did.
And that was just
so
the
fun.
start.
I know.
That was just the start of all of our adventures.
Yeah, and then she's like, should I download J-Swipe?
And we're like, wait, it says they're 2 miles away. And we were like newbies. We looked like grandmas with iPhones. Like, it was hilarious.
Yeah, and then she like matches with this guy who
I knew always wanted to talk to me.
And she's like, she got so excited. She's like, oh my gosh, should I message him? And then he messaged her.
Yeah, and I thought that meant like we were going to meet up immediately. Like, I didn't know what it meant because it said he was so close to me. That was just because we were in the same city. And I didn't know how it worked.
Yeah, and then whatever happened to that? Didn't he like stop messaging you?
Yeah, his version of asking me out on a date. Oh, these are good stories. This guy was a little crazy.
Yeah.
His version of asking me out on a date was, hey, come to my family's Thanksgiving dinner. I don't want to go meet your family on a first date.
Yeah.
Like we lived in the same city.
Also,
and he's
like we kind of know his family.
Yeah, it was weird. And then he was always like, why won't you go on a date with me? I'm like, ask me on a real date. Don't invite me to your family's house. That's so weird.
Yeah.
This guy was a very weird, inappropriate guy.
Also, didn't he like come up and make comments to you at the gym?
Yeah. About like losing virginity. It's so weird.
Yeah, this guy is weird.
It's very
and
weird.
then it was actually funny because I was swiping on a dating app in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And I came across his profile and I sent it to Natalie and I'm like, did he move to New York? Or did he just like set his location in New York?
By the way, I've almost confirmed that I'm pretty sure he lives here in Nashville.
Yeah, I like found him and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like there are some other friends I can ask who know him.
Yeah. Oh, you should.
Who would corroborate. But I'm like, why would he like fake that he lived in New York? Maybe he was visiting.
Oh, that's actually probably
and like
true.
then said it.
That makes sense. Or like expand. Can't you like expand your miles?
Yeah, that dating app you could actually choose where your location is.
Oh, see, well that's probably exactly what happened.
Like right before I moved neighborhoods, I moved it to my current neighborhood. But like that was like 100 blocks.
Yeah.
Not like hundreds of miles.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God.
I don't know. We had some investigative work to do on that one, but I'll ask around. I know some people. I just kind of forgot about that.
You're good at that. I can't ask because I'm supposed to be a married woman, and why would I be asking about single guys?
Oh, you could just say that Rachel told you.
That's true.
Obviously.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I remember I was at an event once, and he was definitely there, and two things happened at this event. Number one, this guy was like nonstop talking to me, and I'm not saying that in a cocky way at all. Like, I was just not there for that, but it was very much like a very young singles type of event, even though it wasn't labeled that. And I met one of the rabbis in the community there, and I didn't want him to know that that's like who I really was in case I ran into him in the real world meaning like the actual community. So I told him that my name was Nancy. And later on, now I'm married and I'm in the community, and he sees me, and a few times he's called me Nancy.
That's so weird.
But my name is Natalie, but I don't want to admit that I'm Nancy, that I was Nancy at one point. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, he knows me as single Nancy, who I don't want to be known as.
Was he single?
No, he had just moved to town, I think.
So why was he at this, like, single
It
event?
was,
Or it was, like, a young people event?
It was kind of like a First Friday. You know what a First Friday is? Like, it's like for young professionals.
Okay, so not necessarily single.
Not necessarily single, but like for young people in the community. Yeah, so that's been really awkward overcoming that. Because my husband's like, why is he calling you Nancy? And I'm like,
It's weird that he, like, remembers.
well, you know what? It's like a rabbi's job to, like,
true.
remember the people in the community. So we've been slowly overcoming that obstacle. Hopefully he doesn't associate me as Nancy anymore, and maybe he just assumes he thought of the wrong person. Maybe I have a twin.
Yeah. Or he like, heard your name wrong. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe you started going by, well, Natalie isn't a Hebrew name.
Yeah.
But, like a different version of your, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
who
you just have a
knows?
different name.
Hopefully he's forgotten. And at that same event, this story haunts me because this guy I'm about to talk about is friends with a lot of people that I know. And this guy was talking to me. You know, everyone's socializing. So when you socialize with someone, that does not mean that you are tied to them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Like,
yes.
That is not like what people think in the normal mindset. But because I talked to him, and I don't remember it being flirty at all. It was not.
Wait,
interested.
this is the guy you matched with on J-Swipe?
No, this is a whole different.
This is a whole different guy. Okay. I don't think I know.
He
who this
saw
guy
me
is.
talking to someone else, and got so pissed that I would talk to someone else after being his friend, that he started not exaggerating. I can have many people confirm this story because I never have. People do not let me forget the story. He verbally harassed me, no joke, calling me the C word,
Oh my gosh.
the B word, telling me that I'm like the W word.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not cursing, Rachel.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
And he got kicked out of the event.
What the heck? Do I
Yep.
know this guy?
You probably do. If I say his name, you'll know him.
You'll tell me after.
Yeah, and apparently he's, for years after that, has gone around talking trash about me.
That's so crazy.
Literally crazy. I've had a lot of crazies. I had another guy. Now they're all coming out. I had another guy go on. I was forced. My parents and my family, my parents' friends, really wanted me to go on a date with this one guy. So I went on a date. I was 18. I didn't really know what I was doing anyway. But I went on a date. We went to the movies and we held hands. That's it. That is all. He went around telling people that we slept together.
Oh my god.
I know. Do you know how hard it is? I understand, like, the whole, like, sometimes it's hard to defend yourself against something you didn't do. Like, there's no proof.
Yeah. That's weird that he's, like, friends with your family and saying that. Like,
Yes. He told his friends that I slept with him when all we did was go to a movie, hold hands, and he drove me home. That's all we did. I was 18. Fresh out of high high school.
You should have told him you were 17 and then see how fast that rumor changes.
Yeah. That's not bad, Rachel. Gosh, if only I had you back then.
I know.
This was before we were friends.
I would have told him you were 17 and been like, oh, you might not want to go around saying that.
Yeah, oh, gosh.
I'm going to call the
Where
police.
were you when I needed you?
I'm going to call the police. I still tell people I'm under 18 sometimes.
Oh my God.
I don't think I can pass for under 18 anymore, but sometimes.
I know, I miss the days where people used to think I was still in high school.
Yeah.
A lot changes in your 20s, y'all.
I know. Wait, okay, so before we move on to more of your crazies, let's take a break to hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Sticky Situations is sponsored by Corona Crush. Are you tired of swiping on dating apps? Tired of guessing whether the cute guy or girl you keep seeing around is Jewish and or single? Then you need to run, not walk, to join Corona Crush. Corona Crush is a Jewish organization working to create Jewish couples always. Corona Crush has over 30 confirmed engagements, over 22,000 members from all over the world, and has set up over 50,000 speed dates. Join the Corona Crush Facebook group and post yourself or have a friend post you and see who reaches out. Fill out the survey to sign up for virtual speed dating events happening every other week. Corona Crush is 100% free and 100% Jewish. Worst case, you end up with some stories of your own. Best case, you find the love of your life. Try it out today. Here on Sticky Situations, we tend to focus on bad dating stories, but sometimes dates do go well and lead to proposals and weddings. Who would have thought? And what do all of those require, you might be asking? Well, the answer is flowers. Who doesn't want flowers from someone they've been seeing? Don't forget, flower petals and bouquets needed for proposals. And that's even before all the flowers that go into weddings. Sticky Situations is sponsored by Primrose Flower Shop. In my opinion, Primrose is the coolest flower shop around and has the best customer service to fulfill all of your floral needs. Primrose offers a range of services from your basic bouquets to subscription services where you can get flowers delivered once a week. They deliver all over the tri-state area, including Manhattan. Primrose does weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs, and other simchas. I've personally been to a wedding where Primrose did the flowers, and the work they did was beyond gorgeous. Primrose additionally offers in-store proposals, including a romantic setup with candles and music. Primrose is located at 2922 Avenue M in Brooklyn, and the phone number is 929-376-9815. You can also follow Primrose on Instagram at PrimroseNY. So, if you can't get someone out of your head, buy them some flowers from Primrose. They'll either love it or they'll find you really creepy. But regardless, the flowers will be out of this world.
Okay, we are back.
Hi. I'm sitting here thinking how horrible I sound.
You don't. It's funny.
I'm here to teach everybody what you shouldn't do. Oh, one tip I thought of as I was like brainstorming before recording today, was that never, ever stay on a date that you don't like for 3 hours, because I've done that. And never, ever take someone, this is for all the people who take someone on a date, their first date. Unless you know the person beforehand, do not, under any circumstance, take that person to a fancy, expensive place on a first date. Because then, if you're like me, I would just feel bad leaving the date too early if I didn't like you because you spent so much money on dinner.
Yeah.
And you don't want that pity date. You want the real thing.
Exactly. I agree.
I had an experience like that. I felt so bad. This guy spent so much money on dinner. I did not like him at all. I realized that 10 minutes in, and I ended up staying for 3 hours.
Oh my gosh. That sounds like torture.
It was torture. And he kept asking me, you want to go get a beer? I couldn't say no. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
So that's my tip. Don't spend too much money on a first date if you don't know them beforehand.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that one.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to all my other horrible stories.
They're not horrible.
They are. I sound like such... Thinking back, I really was naive, so I can't blame myself, but...
It's fine. You were young.
I know, but what was I doing getting into all this trouble?
I don't know.
It's because I moved around a lot as a
Yeah.
kid. So that's probably why I was so... And my parents didn't pay attention because they were so busy moving me around. And I was the oldest.
Yeah.
But now my younger siblings can't get away with anything.
Because you got away with everything.
Because I got away with everything, and then I admitted it later. And, like, you know, when I used to live in the first city I ever lived in, I had guy friends. There was no romantic involvement, but I had guy friends that I would want to come over. Like, I was in 9th grade, who I'd want to come over and hang out, but it was too late, and, like, my mom wouldn't let. So they would climb. My room was, like, in the back. The window was in the back. They would climb onto, like, the air conditioner and, like, climb on each other and climb through my window. And we would all sit in my bathtub and eat ice cream.
Oh, my God.
And hang out.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible, but there was nothing bad going on. Like, we would just hang out.
It's just funny.
Yeah.
And you never got caught.
Never. I always admitted, because I moved around so much, I would always admit to my mom everything I did in each city after we left the city. That was our tradition. Like, on the drive or the flight to wherever we were moving to, I would admit everything that I had done.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Okay, so I have another story about my graduation from high school, which was supposed to be a great day. And how it started was, I had a huge crush on this guy I met in NCSY. And he liked me too, but he wasn't interested in driving 2 hours for a graduation because graduations are boring. But I pretty much forced him to come. And he was like, have you ever smoked, is weed allowed?
Yeah.
Have you ever smoked weed? And I was like, I've never smoked weed. He's like, okay, let's try it together. You'll try it with me for the first time. I was like, great. After graduation, so we go into, like, there was like this nature path behind, like, where my house was. And we went there and sat down, like, off the path. And he pulled out this, like, really fat, packed, like, joint.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what was good and not. I don't know what he was thinking giving me so much on my first time. But I smoked, like, half of it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
That's
he didn't stop me. He told me to keep going. That's how it all went downhill.
That's bad.
And I remember feeling like, I don't feel anything. And suddenly, like, the floor disappeared beneath me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting the paranoia and, like, thinking he was there, like, he kidnapped me. And I was in the woods, and I was, like, with a stranger. And I remember saying to him, like, I need to call my mom. And he's like, don't call your mom, please. Don't call your mom. And I was, like, just spiraling out of control because, I mean, can you blame me after smoking that much for my first time, stuck in the woods with a guy I barely knew, really? Like,
yeah.
I knew he was an okay person to be with. I just didn't know him that well.
Yeah.
It just went really bad. And then it got worse when, after me tripping out for probably over an hour, maybe 2, poor guy, went through all that, but also he's a jerk. He came to my house, while I sat there tripping. He forced me to go home. He ate pizza with my family for my graduation dinner, left, and ghosted me.
He ghosted you.
He completely ghosted me.
That's rude.
It was so rude. And then he ended up dating one of the girls on my gap year program.
Oh, my gosh.
It was horrible.
That's terrible. Did you tell her the story?
We were enemies.
Oh.
So
She was dating him?
I can't imagine all the trash they talked about me.
Oh, my God.
But you know what? He's a complete jerk. You don't ghost someone like that.
Yeah.
And I had, like, residual tripping the next day.
Oh, my gosh.
It was horrible. And I just remember feeling just so gross about myself. Like, why did he ghost me?
Yeah, that's so rude.
I mean, who knows what I really said to him in the midst of my panic?
Yeah, but he still came to your house and ate pizza.
Yeah, but that's the worst part. With my mom, my aunt, my siblings. And on top of that, my grandmother had just died.
Oh my God.
He's such a jerk.
Yeah. The heck?
Every time I think about that story, I'm like, you really...
We should, like, call him up and be like, you're a jerk.
I should send him a message before, like, Yom Kippur next year. Be like,
just
let
letting
you
you know I still don't forgive you.
I can't forgive you for this.
Like,
unless
we
you
are 10 years
apologize.
later, and I still don't forgive you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah. Again, why did I go into the woods with a half stranger? Decisions that should be questioned, but weren't, you know?
Yeah, that's okay. You're alive.
I'm somehow alive.
Somehow you're alive.
I literally, it's a real miracle. I must have davened sometime.
Yeah.
Along.
God was looking out for you
Yeah.
somehow. Some way, somehow.
He knew I was going to go to seminary eventually.
Become a good Jew.
Yeah.
Birth some monsters.
Cover my hair somehow. Whatever.
Have some monsters that are brought into this world.
Who says Tyra and not
Tyra, and whose whole week revolves around Shabbos.
Literally. Like, when it's Wednesday, I know it's safe to start playing Uncle Moishi. Because, like, I can't start before then, because that's just too much. But, like, once Wednesday hits, we're ready. Like, Shabbos is coming.
Yeah, I was with Natalie and her kids at Target, and she was buying some new cups for her daughter. And her daughter wanted to use it right then and there, but she's like, no, I have to wash it. And I'm like, no, we got to save it for Shabbos. And the second I said that, she like...
It was like, done deal.
Done deal.
Yeah,
she's waiting for Shabbos.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Speaking of Shabbos, do you remember that one time?
Okay. Yes, the J-Swipe actual in real life for once.
Yeah.
I matched with that guy on J-Swipe. This guy on J-Swipe, who, like, it was questionable because, to be totally honest, he was extremely nice, but, like, I wasn't totally attracted to him. And then we went to this dinner, this, like, young professional, young singles dinner, and he was there.
But you knew he was going to be there.
I
remember walking over there the whole way there. You're like, he's going to be there. I'm nervous. What do I say to him?
Yes, because, like, it wasn't like a date. I knew he was going just to see me. I knew it wasn't his normal crowd he'd go to. I had just mentioned I was going, and so he said he was going too. So I knew it was just for me, and that just, like, made me sick. I don't like the pressure. I obviously got drunk beforehand.
Yeah, we did.
It's funny. On that note, me and my other friend, Estelle.
Stella.
Yeah. We used to go to these, like, young singles dinners all the time because we were so bored. And our ritual would be, she would come over an hour before the dinner. I lived at my parents' house at the time. We would lock ourselves in my room with bottles of alcohol, get extremely wasted, go to dinner, somehow have normal conversations, and then she would barf that night. It was like clockwork. But for some reason, she would still always get drunk with me before every time we went out. Anyway,
I was here for this one, though.
Yeah, this one. And he was there. He ended up sitting with us. And he was a cool guy.
Yeah.
And I liked him.
Yeah, I was stuck sitting next to this other guy who was obsessed with me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who was socially off.
Yes.
Somehow. Always. I walk in the room, and the most socially off guy in the room... they sense me.
Yeah, but it's a compliment to you. You're comfortable. That's good.
I guess.
It is good.
But then they fall in love with me.
They do. They love you.
But I, don't love them.
I know. But you're nice.
But I was too nice.
Yeah.
And then I got tired of it because I wanted to talk to, Natalie and Stella and this guy and not, the socially off dude. But the socially off dude kept talking to me.
Yes.
I don't care.
Yeah. It was unfortunate. I remember seeing that happen. I'm like, Rachel's never going to come with us again.
Well, I was only in town for a little while.
Yeah.
But it was fine. We survived.
But, you remember my little kitten. What was his name? Stanley? And he died just randomly in the middle of my sister's floor.
Yeah.
And he, yeah, it was graphic.
Yeah.
But I remember that's how I
remember.
ended up bonding with this guy. Probably he was going to vet school, and I was like, "Oh my God, hi, my cat died. Do you know why my cat died?" And like, I think we ended up dating for a little while after, and I ended up dumping him just because we weren't on the same religious level. But I really liked him.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
I had nothing bad to say.
He would like hang out with us.
Yeah, like I have nothing bad to say about this guy.
He could chill.
Yeah, I liked him. It's not such an interesting story, but
I wonder where he is now.
you gotta acknowledge the good ones too.
You should text and be like, hey.
Well, I have to say, I'll admit, I think I told my husband this too. Right before me and my husband got engaged, he sent me a love letter.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Pretty much telling me he would be religious for me.
That's nuts.
It's romantic.
That's so
You
romantic.
should never become religious for someone.
Yeah.
But I loved the thought. Like, that was very romantic. And my husband's not a romantic person.
No.
So I kind of, like, lived in that moment for a minute. But it was never going to happen.
Yeah.
I didn't answer.
That's like the dream. When you're dating someone who's not religious and you break up because of that, the dream is for them to, like, show up on your doorstep one day.
Yeah.
Wearing a yarmulke.
Like, suddenly you don't hear from them for a while.
Yeah, like a year.
And they, like, stop watching your stories
Your
on
Instagram
Instagram.
stories.
And then all of a sudden they just, like, are like, I love you and I want to be religious for you.
Yeah, but they show you that they already started being religious.
Yeah, you gotta have some proof.
Yeah, I need some proof.
You know those people that, like, convert for you? That's something I'll never
I would
understand.
never ask someone to convert for me.
And I think I'm the type of person, I couldn't possibly love someone enough
to do that,
to do that, especially to Judaism. It's very demanding.
I agree.
And, like, you're expected to uphold a certain level. And, like, I'm sorry, I am not committing to something that I did not get born into.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So, full credit to those that have,
Yeah. I mean, I think if you really, really love someone, you can make some sort of sacrifice and change to some extent.
Yeah.
But, like...
No, not that much.
Not that much. Like,
that's your entire life.
I wouldn't choose this for someone else.
No. No, small things for sure, but, like...
Like, if I met the love of my life and he, like, really, really wanted me to wear a skirt, like, maybe I'd think about it.
Yeah, those are small things that don't, like, impact the way you do...
Or, like, if I wasn't religious and, like, I fell in love and, like, he wanted me to, like, keep shopping... Honestly, like, I have friends that happened.
Yeah.
And they've been on the podcast and, like, they started dating, fell in love. Like, one of them wasn't religious. And then they became religious. And, like, now they're getting married. And, like, it's a beautiful story.
Yeah, that is.
Didn't happen in my life, but, like, that's okay.
Hint, hint.
Nah, it's fine.
You can edit that out.
We're fine. I'm fine.
We know you're fine, Rachel. If anyone's fine, it's you. Or you make yourself seem... fine, so fine that you inspire others to be fine.
Yeah, I hope so. Sometimes I'm not fine, but
yeah, but you're good. You're good, confident. You got it going on. I mean, you're running a podcast.
I was telling someone was talking to me about, like, confidence and, like, I don't know, because I'm just, like, very outgoing, but I feel like I haven't always been this way. It's like, no matter what, you just gotta fake it.
Fake it till you make it.
Even if you don't feel confident about yourself.
But don't fake it in other places, girls. I'm sorry, is that too inappropriate?
The only thing you should fake is confidence.
Yes, don't
and, like,
fake
you know what you're
else.
doing. Like, fake that you're confident and you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And, like, once you fake it enough, like, you make it. Like, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
People actually believe in your confidence, even if, like I have days where I don't feel the most confident, but, like, still gotta act like it. And then, like, if you act confident, people, like,
I gotta work on
notice it.
I gotta work on that.
Yeah,
most days I just don't leave the house.
Yeah, you have kids. It's different.
Some days I just wear pajamas all day long. Okay, my last crazy story.
Yeah.
I have too many of these, Rachel.
I know. I attract the socially off.
You attract, like, actual psychopaths.
I literally do. What is
like,
that?
Legitimate psychopaths.
Would you be surprised if my husband...
compulsive liars?
Yeah, like, would you be surprised if Ben just came out and said, I'm a serial killer and I've been hiding it from you since we got married?
I think if he said it, I would laugh, because I don't think I would believe him.
But, like, that's the... I mean, that figures that's who I would end up marrying. Like, the next Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Ben... No last name. Jeffrey, the next Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Am I taking it too far?
No. Hopefully he's not.
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
I
I don't get psychopath vibes.
But I didn't from the other ones either. One day Ben's just gonna leave and ghost me.
I hope not. You could sue him for child support.
Rachel, this is why you need to become a lawyer.
I told you, you trapped him.
Okay, my last crazy psychopath story, my 100th crazy guy. Pretty much I was dating this guy who who was borderline abusive. Yeah. Who was borderline abusive. And I went out with Rachel and our friend, what's her name? Stella?
Stella. This was after you guys broke up.
Yes.
I think
After we broke up.
You might have gotten back together with him afterwards, but you guys were broken up at the time.
Yes, it was kind of the kind of relationship where, like, it was, like, a very unhealthy relationship, and somehow we ended up back together. It was, like, one of those terrible situations.
Luckily, she is not married to him.
So. No, I am not married. I'm married to Ben, not
this other
Charlie.
dude.
We were out with Rachel. I was out with Rachel and Stella, and I was broken up with Charlie at this point.
Yeah.
And he somehow found out I was out.
Yeah, I don't even know how he knew you were out, because
he was crazy. He was insane.
I think his friend watched your, like, Snapchat story or something.
I don't know.
Or my Snapchat story.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how this happened.
Probably he saw Stella's Snapchat story, because I think...
Yeah, that was it. Because I wasn't friends with any of them. I didn't know any of these people. I was just visiting.
Yes. Somehow he found me in the whole night scene of where I lived at the time, and he found me at the club. Obviously, like...
We were, like, trying to have a fun night out.
Yeah,
I was visiting.
like a girls' night.
We were having a girls' night.
Yeah. And, like, we were dancing. He found me. Obviously, I fell for it. But then I was like, no, I don't want to hang out with you. I'm going with them. And then we were walking through this parking lot, right? And that's when I noticed... Oh, he came running after me. Remember? In the parking lot, he came running after me like, come home with me. Remember?
Kind of.
And then I noticed my phone was missing.
Yeah.
He stole my phone.
Did you notice your... Oh, yeah, because we spent the rest of the night trying to find your phone.
Yes. Even though in the back of my head, I knew it was him. He took it because he was... Part of the abusiveness of the relationship was that he'd never trusted me one bit in an unhealthy way, and he would always try to read my messages and see what I was doing on social media. I was never up to anything. And...
Little does he know that Natalie doesn't answer her texts.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, he stole my phone, I think, to try to snoop because we were broken up at the time. He just wanted to see who I was talking to. I don't think he would ever be able to get into the phone unless he took it somewhere.
It's so psycho.
And I had to get a new phone.
Yeah, I remember.
That was terrible.
That was terrible.
Really bad. And did I get back together with him after? Probably.
Yeah, because I remember why you actually broke up, but we won't say it because we've got to put a trigger warning.
Wait, you remember? You'll have to tell me after.
Yeah, you told me.
Okay, I'll have to. That was fun when I actually ended it for good.
Yeah. And then didn't you start dating your current husband? Didn't you start dating your husband like pretty soon after that?
Current. Why do we keep saying current husband? Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you want to talk about how you met your husband, your current husband?
So, circling back to where I'm at now, I met my husband on J-Swipe. All came back to J-Swipe. Everything, whatever. And he messaged me on there some funny things, which I can't say. Then...
Nothing inappropriate.
It was
just, like, funny.
But
too personal.
Too personal. And... then I ignored him for some time. And then eventually I met him at, like, a shul event. And I remember your dad was actually there.
Oh my gosh, of course he was.
And I remember my mom was there, and it was like a Jewish holiday. We were taking a shot, obviously. And Ben was there too, and we were all standing in a circle somehow taking a shot. And my mom said, L'chaim, may we all find our share. And then your dad said, for some reason, I think your dad must have been drunk. Your dad goes, may we all find good jobs. And we all took a shot. That was the shot.
The funny part was, our parents are both married and have jobs.
Yes. I love it. And then I think after, like, we just slowly started talking more and broke up 800 times, and then I forced him to marry me, and that's pretty much how it happened.
Yeah, and I found out that they were back together for good because I came in for an event, and Natalie got really, really drunk, and Ben was taking care of her.
Should
and
we
I'm
tell
like,
this story?
I'm like, wait, what? Oh, okay. So here's my take on everything that happened. So they were dating for a while, like a long time, and they broke up, and it was like, it was seemingly for good.
Yeah.
And Natalie, like, went off to Israel for a few months.
Yeah.
And on her way back from Israel, she stopped in New York for a few days.
Oh, yeah.
And she, like, we set it up beforehand. She asked if she could stay in my apartment. I was like, heck yeah. Let's party for a few days.
Oh, yeah.
Let's, like come in. We're going to have fun. And she comes in. We had the best time. Mm-hmm. Like, I just got a new crush on a boy, and I was telling her all about it, and we were all excited. Yeah. And she was, like, telling me about all of her adventures in Israel. And we're like, okay, you're going to move to New York. We're going to move to this new neighborhood together. We were planning our lives. Like, literally planning new lives for ourselves.
I was excited.
She was so excited.
Yeah.
She was in New York for, like, 3 days. We had so much fun.
We really did.
And, like, her brother was there, too.
And your nice roommate at the time was, like... It was just a funny trip. Like, I had a good time.
We had so much fun.
You made me the best coffee. I remember clearly.
Oh, my gosh. And remember we went out for dinner, me, you, and your brother?
Oh, yeah.
And then it, like, started pouring, and we had nowhere to go. So we just go into this Mexican restaurant that was, like, not a kosher restaurant. We just went for shelter. So we're like, okay, we'll just sit and get a drink.
Yeah.
But it was like a private party going on.
It was a private party, and it was the most hilarious people watching I've done.
Yeah, and then we wanted to dance with them, but we didn't.
Yeah, I should have just done it.
We should have just done it.
I know. What were we? I had just come back from seminary, so.
Yeah, I was following y'all's lead.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then I remember, so we're like, me and Natalie are planning out her life, her like brand new life. It's like, okay, Natalie, you're going to come move to New York.
Yeah, it was like,
I'm going to start dating this guy. We're going to introduce you to all of these guys, and like, it's going to be so fun. And then literally on her last night in New York, she's like, so I have a date with Ben this week.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, Natalie.
I was nervous to tell you.
I'm like, Natalie, I thought we were planning our new lives here.
Deep down, I really knew we were going to get engaged. And, like, I was nervous as heck. So I was, like, also trying to plan my future in case, like, I had a major letdown.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I was right.
But, yeah, so then I came back. Natalie went home. And then I was visiting, like, a month later. Mm-hmm. Like, literally a month later. And we're at this, like, event. And Natalie is drunk out of her mind.
Literally.
And who's taking care of her? Who's taking care of her? But Ben. And I just give her a look from across the room like, what the heck is going on? And she's like, oh yeah, I didn't even tell you we're back together.
Yeah, I think I was scared of you because like, you got my back and you were telling me in New York like, don't do that to yourself again. Like, let's move on.
Yeah, I was literally planning her new life.
Yeah.
And then probably like less than a month after that, they got engaged.
Yeah. I forced him pretty much.
And I wasn't even there because I was on my way to London.
Oh, yeah. Fun stuff. Yeah, so that's how my boring life started.
No, I don't even think it was a month later. I literally think it was like days later.
No, it was. It was. No, it must have been at least a month because my sister had a bat mitzvah and
a few weeks, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
You got engaged, like, yeah, it wasn't long.
I gave him an ultimatum. It's like, this or I'm done.
Yeah, and he came through.
Yeah.
He proposed.
That's called forcing someone to marry you.
And now they're here and he's trapped.
Literally.
Into a very nice life.
Yeah, it's not like he's suffering. I hope
No.
not.
I mean, he has a couple monsters.
Who knows? Yeah.
But they're cute.
Sometimes. Depends on the day. I mean, you saw how crazy they were when we went out.
They weren't so bad.
They were pretty bad. That was bad compared to the other times.
Okay, that's like not that.
So if that wasn't birth control for you, then I don't know what is.
No, I just want a baby.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I was looking back at old pictures, and it's really easy to get baby fever.
Yeah. No, I want a baby. I mean, I'd like a husband first because I don't want to raise a baby on my own.
Not necessary. You're a strong, independent woman.
Yeah, but I feel like I need the emotional support.
No, it's true. But you could just move in with me.
That's true. We could co-parent.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll get myself pregnant.
Yeah.
Just go get knocked up. I'm not. I'm literally not. So whoever's listening and is like, this girl's insane, like, I'm literally not going to.
No, we're just having fun.
Yeah, it would be fun.
I mean, what did we obviously do before this podcast?
We drank.
Exactly.
And during.
Don't
obviously.
trust anything that comes out of our mouths.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still going at it, y'all, since from 15 to mid-20s.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop.
Okay, so wait, Natalie. Do you have any other stories that you want to share before we get to our closing?
I think I covered a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of good stuff.
And I think if I share any more...
There was some other stuff, but I told her she couldn't say it on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, some really funny stories, but, like, I told her we can't get that graphic, and, like, it's not as funny if you don't actually know what's happening.
Yeah, if I can't, like, use the real words that went into the event...
Yeah.
It's not worth saying.
Yeah.
That's for when Rachel gets a little more dirty in her podcast. We'll be able to share more.
Yeah.
And you find a way to distort voices.
Yeah. No, we keep it PG.
Yeah, in this podcast.
Yeah. Okay, so Natalie, can you give... I always ask my guests... I know we've given advice throughout the episode, but can you give my listeners just one piece of dating advice?
Okay, so if I had one piece of dating advice, obviously my dating history wasn't smooth, so I really wouldn't take any advice that I say. So there's a couple things that come to mind. Number one, learn the signs of a psychopath. Maybe Google it first before you go on a date with someone. And if you do end up with a psychopath, anytime you leave your house, just don't keep your phone in your back pocket. And if a guy you really, really want to be with isn't making the right moves, ultimatums do work. Don't listen to the people who say it's disrespectful. It's totally fine, and they're effective.
Also, like, even if the answer to the ultimatum is no,
then you got your answer. Yeah, you get to move on. So I believe in those. I think it's a very good way to, if you're losing your patience, don't do it for little things and not in the right time.
No, but like, if you're dating for a long time.
Yeah, and you're just like ready, don't be on their timeline. You own your own time and respect your own timeline. Don't live on their timeline if it's taking too long.
Okay. Those are good pieces of advice. I'm definitely going to look up the psychopath thing. I think I dated one psychopath. I already told this story. I didn't really date him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to pop up eventually. Last time it took 11... He contacted me after 11 months.
I thought you were going to say something else. Yeah.
No, this is like a long distance, like, weird situation. I wonder if he'll pop up again. Who even knows? I told him never contact me again. Really? Do any of these guys who I tell not to contact me again listen?
Is this the chat that I saw?
Which one?
It was on your private story.
Maybe. I don't know.
Never mind.
Who knows? I post things on my close friend stories that I think are hilarious.
Yeah, and they are. Every time.
Yeah. I don't know if I posted him or not. I don't remember.
Okay.
But, okay, so now, Natalie, for our final piece, what is your Real Housewife tagline?
Okay, I really think it has to be, when in doubt, take a shot. That's got to be it. That's the definition of pretty much everything I do that involves talking. to other people.
It's just like give yourself the little self-confidence booster that you need.
It's liquid courage. For people who have a problem with drinking, I completely respect that. I'm not, like, I don't want to come off in a bad way.
No.
But if you're feeling uptight, it's totally worth it. Take the shot. Loosen up a little. Whatever you got to do to loosen up, do that. Even if it's not a shot. Just loosen up before you go to these events. Don't go in uptight.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to explain myself because I know it could sound bad.
No, I like it. I used to pregame everything and then I stopped drinking. Not like actually stopped drinking. I just like, it was during COVID. I always drank socially.
Yeah.
Then I just stopped going to social things, so I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
So, and now I have like no tolerance and I'm just like old.
But now it's like you only need to buy one drink.
But like I'm crazy sober, so it's fine.
Yeah, no. Some people don't need it. But
yeah.
For those that do.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But
I was trying to find something that rhymed.
it's fine.
No, so this is what I came up with. When in doubt, drink a stout. But I don't like stouts, so that wasn't good.
That's okay. I like this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Natalie, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Of course.
This has been a pleasure.
It was fun. Now let's go hang out and talk about things we couldn't talk about on the phone.
Sticky Situation Nation, as always, it's been real, and you'll catch me next time. Bye, everybody.